What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video by yours truly, Finesse Effect. Oh, shit. All right. This video is going to be a little different, I guess. It's just going to be what I wanted to happen this week in the market. And all in all, I was correct. I was right. I was pretty much spot on. I lacked patience, and discipline. So I wasn't able to fully capitalize. But we learn as we go. And I'm just glad I was able to call it right once again. This is 4 weeks in a row in the Telegram group that I have called the correct direction of the dollar index and the foreign currencies. So today's Friday. It is 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon, so the daily range is most likely already done. We're just gonna go look at the pound. I didn't really care too much about euro, so actually I will just say what I wanted to happen for euro. As far as an entry, I'm not going to I didn't have one of those, but as far as this weekly range opening up and where I thought the weekly high would be, I shared that Sunday and Monday. And this week, all in all, was a shit show. Here's Friday. We finally got some expansion, some movement. Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So all in all, we've just been chopping sideways, confusing everyone all fucking week. And it's weeks like this where people really get burned bad, because, they're just wanting to get in there and jump in and trade something that's really not even there. As you can see here, Friday, there was a big news event Friday, and that's why they waited all the way until Friday to let the market actually run the direction they had planned. There wasn't any news Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, we had some news, but still the market went sideways. And Friday, they waited until Friday. As you can see here, right when the news dropped, or right before, I think it dropped at 10 a.m. right here. But at 9 a.m., they go down, and everyone's thinking it's euro sells. But where do they go down to? They go down and take out the low here, the current daily low, and they dip into the bullish order block here, which is hindsight, yes. But I knew if we're going to be bullish on euro, we do not want to violate this order block. I was looking at that the whole time as price was already dipped once down into it right here. We didn't really touch it, but we did fill in this little fair value gap. But before the news drops, they go back down one more time, take out the stops, actually dip into the order block, and then take it higher. Where do they take it? They're going to take it above the previous day high. And all in all, which this is what I talked about Sunday and Monday. I talked about this live in the chat room. These two highs right here. This was my euro targets. Why? Because this high is lower than this high. What is that? What is that called? That's called a low resistance liquidity run. Because this high is lower than this high. We never tagged the highs above this one. So it's like a double top kind of, but it's more the probability of price wanting to run above this is much greater than if this high had already traded above this high. Like let's say this high was up here and we tagged above this one. And pretend this does not exist at all. Just pretend we went up and took out the high first, then came down, and that was it. The probability of this wanting to go higher would be less likely. So you want to have this high lower than the one next to it, and that's your low resistance liquidity run. So Friday, they held the week all, they held the week sideways all week. And then Friday, sure enough, they did exactly what I wanted. And we took out these highs. When the market opened up, you know, you're wanting to anticipate the weekly range, correct? Correct. Well, when the market opened up down here, we started moving up. I envision it. Like I envision it before it happens. Like what I just discussed on the hourly chart about the low resistance liquidity run right here. Let's go ahead and put a horizontal line right here at the top of that one. And then when I go to the weekly chart, I envision how this current week's candle is going to close and where the high is going to be. So our Sunday and Monday, I had already noted that low resistance liquidity run, and I already said I wanted price to probably want to go and take out those two highs. That was when the weekly candle was down here. So I envision it, and I envisioned this current week's candle to close at the previous week's high or above it. Because when you get familiar with price action, you're able to just predict stuff like that. But I notice how I envisioned it with the draw on the hourly chart. How is that gonna, if we draw and we take out that liquidity on that hourly chart that I just talked about, the low resistance liquidity run, which is this red line, if the weekly candle does that, that's gonna give our weekly candle all the way up and we're gonna trade above the high. And I would like to see a close today above last week's high. If not, no worries. We can close right at the top of it like how it is now. That's still good. But yeah, that's just something personal I do. I've never heard anyone talk about it at all. And it's just one of these things I like to predict the candles. So, you know, that's what we all are doing, you know, predicting candles, but I envision how this weekly candle is gonna form the current week that we're in. And I use the hourly liquidity, the draw on liquidity, which is the red line. And price was down here Sunday and Monday. And I envisioned the candle closing up here, which would create a weekly order block if we were to come up here and close, or just close above the bearish candle. And sure enough, it did exactly what I wanted it to do. I did not trade euro. I did not. So let's look at the pound now. So there's just a little tip on price action for euro and how I envisioned it. And here is GBP USD. I was more focused with pound dollar than I was euro dollar. And this is why. I'll go ahead and show it. Everyone's talking about SMT divergence on the 5-minute chart, the 1-minute chart, the 15-minute chart. And for example, they'll see the pound go lower right here and take out this low. And then they'll go look at the dollar and they'll say, oh, well, the dollar didn't take out its high right here whenever pound took out its low. That's not divergence. Divergence, SMT divergence, which is that I learned it from ICT. It's where you have to use it at key, logical, important, higher time frame levels. If you're using it on these little small swings and inside of a weekly range and shit like that, it means nothing and you're gonna get burned. So I kind of get sick and tired of people posting about SMT on Twitter and shit when there's really no SMT divergence. Like it's just stupid. When I first learned it, I'm not gonna lie, I tried to use it the same way all of you guys try to use it, but I'm about to show you right here how I use it and how I think about it. So I like to use it on key logical levels on higher time frames, typically. So here's the daily on pound dollar. The daily chart. We did not take out this low here. See how we fell short of this low with this? We came down and we failed to take out this low. This is at a key level. It's on a daily chart. It's the lowest low in the last fucking 6 months. So it's a key level, right? Right. We failed to take it out. we go over to Euro daily chart, you can see we definitely traded below the low here. I don't know if it was this one, or I think it's this one over here. We definitely traded below all the lows on Euro. Look. I'll go back to GBP. We failed. Euro USD. We traded below the lows. Now you go to DXY. DXY traded above all the highs. See that? And then pound, again, failed. So that gives me the idea that pound was unable to go lower. And I had a bearish standpoint on dollar, on the dollar index. So that made me want to trade pound dollar more than euro dollar because pound was unable to make the new daily low at a key logical level. So what did I do after that? I dropped down to look for an entry that I could use to go long and be a buyer. At first, I wanted price. This is exactly, I'm not making shit up. None of this is hindsight. And you can ask, I think I have like 230 people in my Telegram chat room where we all just, it's called Forex and Chill, and we just talk price action, and we're just in there each week, and we all just learn off each other, you know? It's pretty cool. So if you want to join that, just send me a message on Twitter, and I'll send you the link. You can ask anyone in there. None of this is hindsight. When the market opened right here, I think this was like the market open Sunday or Monday. And at first I said, I want GBP to come down here, and this is where I failed. I took a L right here, and I posted that on Twitter. I said I entered my first trade, I think it was Thursday, and I lost. It was Wednesday or Thursday, and I took a L because I tried to use this bearish candle as an order block. But I also said, if this bearish candle does not support buying, as in if this bearish candle right here, this order block, does not work and we trade through it, we are going to do this right here. And you can ask anyone. This is what I said. We're going to trade below the lows. And I should have just stuck with this. This is what I wanted to happen last week, but it never gave it to me. And you can ask anyone. All the screenshots are in the chat room. I noted this little fair value gap right here, this BISI or fair value gap, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I noted these lows. So when someone says there has to be a narrative in order to take a trade, if you want the most highest probability trade, this is how you get it. The divergence on the daily higher time frame levels I just showed you for pound dollar and euro dollar and DXY. So it makes me want to be trading pound because we were unable to make that lower low on the daily. You drop down to a 4-hour time frame and you look for your setup using what you've learned from however you trade. But you guys know how we're trading, and if you're watching this video, you probably trade the same, trying to trade, you know, the same way I do or whatever, or ICT or whatever it may be. But like I said, I tried to buy this order block. I failed. Luckily, they did a really fast retracement up. So I was able to get out of my losing positions at just a couple pips negative, which really, you know, it covered my ass. I'll show you that little, and I wish I would have sold it when it did that because I knew we were going to come down and take out these lows. And I'll show you exactly what happened. So I was buying the 4 order block, which was somewhere in here. I was buying a little early. I like to get in early because I don't like using limits. So I market executed. This is where I took my loss. Price rallied up. My stop was below this low. I was getting nervous right here, and price really quickly rallied up. I had like 3 standard lots right here. So I was underwater. It was like negative $800. Price really quickly rallied up. I was able to get out of my losing positions and pretty much go break even. But I wish I would have sold this rally because we rallied up to this bearish order block right here and above these little highs. And then we sold off lower. And this is your New York. It was a late New York entry. It was like at 11 a.m. But if you draw a fib from this high to this low, it gives you your optimal trade entry, your OTE, which is also the bearish order block right here. And then you hold to attack liquidity resting below these lows. That's exactly what I said would happen if that order block were to fail. Exactly what I talked about on Euro. Here it is on GBP. This low is higher than this low. This low never violated this low. That's why I should have never fucked with that 4-hour quote unquote order block, because this is a low resistance liquidity run. Price is going to want to come below this to take out the liquidity. But I had the fear of missing out. I'm sure you've all heard of that. You're scared to miss out on the move. So I went ahead and I tried to buy the order block right here. But it failed because we had the liquidity resting below. And I should have known that. And what else? Here's when just a minute ago I was talking about you have to have context and a narrative to get the highest probability. Okay, well, here's the context. And this is what people mean when they said, oh, there has to be a narrative in your trade. And here's the narrative right here, guys. We have the lows. So the market comes down and takes out the lows. Whoever was long, like I was, we have stop losses right here. There's also sell stops right here to protect those people that are long. So when price breaks this low, they go ahead and sell the market at a sell stop order. But we all know, the market makers know that. So they tag it and then they go up. So it puts them in a sell and they're in profit just barely, then they take it the other way. But what's resting below these two lows right here? And I talked about this Sunday and Monday and Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I talked about it all week in my group. If we were to fail the order block, it's going to come down below these lows and fill in this fair value gap right here. And I'll go ahead and highlight it for you. Right here. Right here. This imbalance. Right here. This candle right here. This candle's low. This candle's high. The candle in the middle. The candle in the middle just traded up. It never rebalanced all the way. It creates a fair value gap or a BISI, whatever you want to call it. So that's resting below these equal lows. That is context. That's the narrative. That's the market maker. We go below, we take out, this is my favorite type of trade, you know, and I would risk the most leverage on trades like this, whether it's on a 15-minute chart, 4-hour chart, 1-hour chart, it does not matter. I love these fucking trades right here. You take out liquidity, then you dip into your, I'm just gonna call it, whatever ICT entry technique drill you are using, whether it's an order block, a breaker, a fair value gap, whatever it may be. So we turtle soup below these lows, fill in the imbalance right here, then take it higher. And we go to a daily chart. Remember what I talked about Euro, the weekly, trying to envision the weekly candle? We'll go look at it real quick. I'll talk about it one more time. We're going to go to the weekly chart. Remember when I said at the beginning of this video, I envisioned this week's candle being bullish and trading above last week's bearish candle, right? Right. If you didn't hear me talk about it, go back in the video and you'll hear it. Same thing for GBP on a daily chart. I envisioned today trading above yesterday's, which was Thursday's, bearish candle. Now we've created a bullish order block. I believe next week we're going to trade back down into this bearish candle and we're going to continue higher because I believe dollar's going lower, and I will show you why I just think dollar might be going lower. I could be wrong. All I know is there's a shit ton of people saying they are bullish DXY. I don't know if Michael was saying he was bullish DXY or not. I don't know if that's why you guys just wanted to be bullish. Whatever your standpoint view might be, you know, who knows? But I was correct this week, and I was correct the past 4 weeks, which feels pretty good, you know. We're just calling this shit as it goes, and I'm making weekly videos showing you what was said and why it was said and why I thought about it the way I thought about it. So again, I envisioned today's daily candle wanting to trade and create the order block. Before this candle even printed, which is Friday, before we got that huge rank expansion up above the previous day's bearish candle, when price opened up down here, I envisioned that today would trade all the way up above the bearish candle and create an order block. So I envisioned the order block before it was even created. And we haven't closed yet, but still, that's something unique to me, and I have not seen no one else ever do that or talk about it. I've never even seen ICD say those exact words I just said, but I know he knows what he's doing. He's the best trader on the planet. He probably does the same thing. I've just never seen him talk about it or never heard him talk about it. And I've definitely never heard anyone on social media talk about it either. So that's unique to me. And I hope you guys just learned a lot from that. If GBP stays bullish, we close above this bearish candle today, I believe we're going to dip back down into it. We're going to trade higher. We're going to want to trade into this bullish candle right here. We're going to want to fill in some of this imbalance right here. And if we keep going higher, we're going to trade above these highs, and potentially, I think by the end of the year, if I'm correct, we're going to want to trade above all these highs, and we're going to be up in here. So if dollar does what I want it to do, the next few weeks, months are going to be pretty interesting. It should be pretty smooth, to be honest. So now I'm going to go over to dollar and show you why I was bearish dollar instead of being bullish with everyone else. Hold up. Let me light my shit real quick. Hold on. All right. So you see dollar. Remember the divergence. Remember the divergence I talked about between the three pairs and dollar making daily higher highs, euro making daily lower lows, and then pound dollar failed to make the lower lows. So that was why I wanted to look for my setup and pound dollar. Remember when I said that? Okay. Well, here's dollar. We took out all buy side liquidity. We had these equal highs here. Price traded down last week or whenever this was. We filled in this imbalance, and then we traded up above this double top. And all in all, we got above the high from April of 21. This past April. If you zoom out, there's really no other highs to be taken. Unless they want to go way over here, but that's just really far away. And I don't see that happening right now. Eventually, yes. Right now, no, I don't. We are stuck in a range. Where's the fib at? I'm going to take it from, I'm going to pull my fib. I can pull it from here or here. I'm going to pull it from here. This is the range we've been trading in on the dollar index. This swing high to this swing low. I'm going to mark equilibrium, which is 50% of that range. And that's here. Notice how price reacts to that level. Look what we did right here. Hit it. Bing. And if you go on other time frames, you can see that level. It'll get played with a lot more. Let's see how it would look right here. I guess we could pull it up here. Don't really matter. But for the sake of it, I'm just going to keep it right here. So I got the premium and discount. Obviously, premium is above 50%. So we're going to range. Here's the range right here. Anything above 50% is a premium. Anything below it is a discount. You trade from a premium to a discount. And all I'm going to say. And obviously, we're at a premium up here. It's a price side indicator. Without using indicators, indicators are fake and they're laggy. This is real indicator. We're a premium, and we took out all the buy side liquidity in the premium of the range that we're trading. So there's nowhere else for it to go. We're way overbought. Where are we gonna go to next? I believe we're gonna go down to a discount. Where at in the discount? Well, we're definitely probably gonna come all the way back down to equilibrium again, because that's a very magnetic level of this range. And right there at equilibrium, we have this low. I believe we're gonna trade, we're gonna keep going lower. We're gonna come all the way down, and I believe we're gonna come down inside of this BISI, which is below the 50%. So we're coming back down to a discount now. We're in a very, very high overbought condition right here. We took out the buy side liquidity here and the last one over here of the overall current range from this swing high to this swing low. I am willing to bet anything that none of you on Twitter looked at the dollar index, how I'm showing it right here. You guys were all bullish. And like I said, I don't know if ICT was bullish this week, but who knows? But I've seen a lot of people wanting to buy. They wanted the dollar to go higher right here because they wanted to use this as a bullish order block. They wanted price to come down into this little quote unquote fair value gap inside of this bullish order block, they said, and they wanted price to keep going higher. It's overbought. Why is it overbought? I just showed you why it was overbought. We're going to come down. I believe we're going to come down into a discount down here, below the lows, below equilibrium. So by the end of the year, I can see price down here. I really can. And I discussed this right here in my Telegram via text messaging. So it was kind of hard to explain, but I wanted to make this video to make it more clear for you guys that maybe didn't understand it. I told the same people, there was multiple people in my group saying they were wanting to buy this bullish order block for DXY to go higher. So they were bullish dollar. And then I said, well, I honestly think dollar index is going to trade lower. And if we trade below this bearish candle, if you happen to miss today's move, it's okay. If dollar keeps going down, I'm going to take off the fib. When price was right here, when the market opened Monday, Sunday, whenever, and they were talking about this bearish candle, I drew it like this. I sent them a chart and I said, this is what I would like to happen. And this was Monday. So none of these candles were printed yet. I said, I'd want price to come down, trade below this, then look for a retracement back up into it. And you guys should already know what I'm about to say. And then use the same candle, which is this bearish candle, and call it a bearish breaker. Why? One second. Damn it. Bearish candle. And this is what I'm going to be looking for going into the next couple weeks or whatever. So they're wanting to use this as a bullish order block. Monday, I said I want price to trade below it. It hasn't done it yet, and it may not. Who knows? But I'm still, everything's going the way I wanted it to so far. So I'm going to keep anticipating this. So Monday, I said I wanted price to come down, trade below it. And then all you support and resistance people out there, if there is any watching this, this could come back up, trade back up into that candle, use it as resistance, and then go back lower. But you guys know what I'm about to say here probably. Let's see. That's the bearish candle that took out all the highs. The double top here, bearish candle, boom, took out the highs. Took out the highest high over here. So I'm wanting to use this daily candle as a bearish breaker once we trade below it, if and when we trade below it, which I honestly think we will. And then I think price is going to want to come take out this low, these two relevant lows, and then fill in this imbalance. So there's my thoughts on dollar. We'll see how it plays out in the coming weeks. I think next week I could potentially look for, today's Friday, so if we close here, I could look for a retracement back up into this bullish candle, use it as a daily bearish order block if we're going to stay bearish, which I would like to see happen, and then continue lower. So I got my eyes set right here at the open of this bullish candle. I want the dollar to come back up somewhere inside here and go lower. There's an imbalance right here. So I'm not touching the market right now. I'm going to wait for next week. I want next week's high to be somewhere inside here. And I don't want to see it go above this bearish candle. Why this bearish candle? Because I'm going to use it as a breaker. Bearish candle, then we took out this high, we took out these equal highs right here. Boop, then the news event dropped down. So I'm blending this imbalance and this breaker kind of together. I do not want to see dollar trade above this breaker right here. If we put a line on that breaker, we go back to a daily chart, it lines up pretty damn well with the daily bearish order block. So next week we trade up into that breaker on the hourly chart, which lines up with the daily bearish order block, and then go lower. It may not trade all the way up to that quote unquote breaker. We could just trade up into this imbalance. Let's put two lines where the imbalance is. Here's where it starts. Here, so here's the imbalance. We trade up inside there. It's going to be inside of this candle again. So that's what I'm looking for going in the next week. Hit it, go lower. I like this low right here because both of these candles, they got equal bodies. The wicks are not equal, you know, but I like how the bodies are just side by side like that. I tend to look at that kind of like just equal lows, and the bodies of the candles are like that. So I want to see dollar keep moving lower next week. Here's a weekly chart. Boom. See, I can just see that happening. But the only thing is, you know, here's a bearish, quote unquote, bear or bullish order block. This bearish candle, big move up, broke structure, trade back down inside this candle. Who knows? They could open up next week and go higher. But I'm just giving you what I would like to see happen. That's it. That's all I can do. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I will look for something else, you know? There's always something to look for. But yeah, it was a mess all week. Thursday, sideways. Wednesday, sideways. Tuesday, sideways. Monday, down. Monday was like right here. We popped up into this imbalance and went lower. Each day, we just kept stepping up into it. This is crazy. Look at this. Talk about manipulation, guys. Look. Monday had this high. The next day, made another higher high. The next day, failed. Made another higher high right here. Made one more higher high, and then drop it. Why'd they drop it? We got equal lows right here. So this week was the prime example of manipulation. And there was a moment in time when I was just like, God dang, fuck this. I'm not going to say nothing because I feel like it's not high probability right now, but I'm excited to see how next week wants to print the candles. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something, and I'm out.